Hello everyone and welcome back to my 40-year F1 journey part 2. So during the 80s the Spectrum was king in the home computer market, but it did have a big rival, and that was the Commodore 64. Now the Commodore 64 actually offered better specs. It had more colours that were available on screen, and the graphics were slightly better as well. But being a steadfast ZX Spectrum fan, I stuck with the Spectrum all the way through the 80s. Unfortunately, in regards to racing games, the Spectrum was severely limited with its colour palette of only being able to display a few colours on screen at once, and so racing games were really few and far between. Meanwhile, Commodore were really gaining ground in the home PC market, and unfortunately, eventually, by about the 1988-89s, I was deciding that maybe it was time for a change. Especially when Sir Clive Sinclair finally launched his first sort of serious attempt at a home PC in the Sinclair QL, which ended up as basically, when it got to its customers, as a bag of bits that you basically had to put together yourself. Now this was sort of the time when I was looking around and saying, I think that the days of the Sinclair Spectrum are definitely reaching the end. So I decided on a change of weapon, and that change of weapon was this bad boy. Yes, the Commodore Amiga, not the 64. I stayed loyal to my Spectrum throughout those years, but yes, the Commodore Amiga 600, A600 in fact. They did do another version, an A500, which was slightly lower spec, and they did an A1200, which was higher spec. So this was sort of the middle ground, the sort of i5 of your current home PC market. And this was my weapon of choice now for playing F1 games. Yes, so here we go then, my first F1 game for the new for me Commodore A600. It's Nigel Mansell's World Championship. Yes, anyone knows I was a huge Nigel Mansell fan back in the day, and here it is, Nigel Mansell's World Championship. Oh my god, look at these screens, it's glorious, it really is. We can race a single circuit, we can improve with Mansell, we've got a full race season, we've got driving school as well. Oh my goodness. Anyway, we're going to race a single circuit. Look at these circuits. I think this is based on the 1992 season. Anyway, we've got South Africa's a circuit, and I've got my trusty joystick here, which I'm just flicking up and down through the menu screens. Here we go, we've got Brazil now. And go down another one, we've got Spain, San Marino, Monaco, we've got Canada, we've got France, and then of course Great Britain, then on to Germany, and then of course my favourite circuit, Hungary, then we've got Belgium, then Italy and Portugal and Japan, and the last race is in Australia of course, which was Adelaide back then, wasn't it? So I think we're going to go for Brazil, which is one of my favourite circuits. So let's go to the Brazilian race and see what we can do here. Oh, look at this. Look at these screens. Look at these screens. We can tune the car. We can qualify. We can race the circuit. We're just going to race the circuit because this is just like a sort of... Oh, no, I don't believe it. Yes, back in the day, unfortunately, the Commodore Amiga 600 run on floppy disks. Yes, and you had to keep replacing them because there wasn't enough memory to hold. Here we go. Shut up, Dave, and keep going. Right, bloody hell, this is difficult. Yes, now, for this game, you actually had to press the fire button to accelerate, which is what I'm doing right now, and hopefully we're going to get through this. Left. Come on, and now on to the right. Oh, my goodness, wow. I'm actually doing a lot better than I am at checkered flag on this game. Yes, wow. Now, unfortunately, there's no damage at all. If you go off the circuit, you do slow down though if you hit some of the bollards, but there isn't any actual damage, so that doesn't actually take you out of the race, unlike later games, which I should be showing you in part 3. But oh my goodness, yes. So you just sort of plough into the cars, and if you can manage to get through, all right. And yes, so as you can see, the graphics are. Yeah, they're pretty primitive. The draw distance is pretty much non-existent because that was pretty consistent with the times, because of course the graphical power of these consoles was very, very low indeed. Come on, left. Now go right. That's it. Right again. Oh, Wowzers. Yeah, so the draw distance was pretty much non-existent, and that's why the surfaces and the actual track is very, very flat, so you can't see very far ahead because, of course, the graphics, they couldn't draw any further than that ahead, unfortunately. That was about as good as you were going to get. Well, Wowzers, we're in third place. Come on, Nigel. Come on, Nigel. I think it's the first lap, yes. We're now in second place, and we're now into lap 2. Lap 2. This is Brazil, of course. It's sort of kind of looks like Brazil, doesn't it? Kind of. Of course, it's not a faithful reproduction of the circuit, of course, because the graphics unfortunately weren't up to it in the day. But yes, this is fairly decent for Brazil, as you can see. Now look at the glorious background. You've got the mountains in the background, which are completely static, of course. The backgrounds were always pretty much static in these games. Come on, right, left. Come on, I've dropped the position. Everyone. Down to third now, back into second again. Yeah, so the background's just full of mountains, which, as I say, didn't used to move whatsoever. You can see looks like some grandstands right in the distance, or that could be like the actual town or whatever in Brazil. Could be like, I don't know what it could be, actually. A town that's near Brazil, or actually near the racetrack, but that's what it looks like off in the background. Well, it actually looked like grandstands, actually. I'm not too sure. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's continue the race and see if we can actually get... Wow, look at this. We're in second place right now. Second place. And there's the pits. You can actually go into the pits. And this is the final lap. You could actually go into the pits and make a pit stop as well. I think on longer races, you could have fuel put into the car. I'm not quite sure. This is just a quick free lapper, so obviously fuel doesn't work. But let's see if we can finish old Nigel Mansell into second position. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. I don't think we're going to catch first. Where is first? Just look at the mini-map. Watch what you're doing while you're looking at the mini-map, Dave. And I don't know. It's just a load of old squiggles. I have no idea why I am on the circuit. Anyway, let's just continue now. Right again. Lovely. Oh, another right. Oh, this is tight now. On to the left. Oh, hit the barrier there, or should I say the arrow board. Here we go, and left again. Yes, fantastic. And here we go again. Whoa, wowzers. Okay, let's do that. Oh no, we got off the circuit. Get back on. Is that it? No, we've got some more lefts. Come on, here we go. There's the lines, and yes. Wow. Whew. Bloody hell, I'm knackered after that. And look at that. Nigel Mansell finished in second place with the old point system of 6 points. And Martin Brundle finished. And here we go, everyone. This is the podium celebrations. Now, don't laugh. This is what we had back in the day. About 1988, I think this was. Yes, this was the podium celebrations. Wow, I'm quite exhausted after that. I have to say, that was pretty exciting stuff. I was using the joystick here, and I have to say, it doesn't really get your sort of hands aching. It gets your shoulders aching. It really does, because you've really got to go like that with the old joystick up and down and left and right. You really have. And as I say, you had to keep your finger on the fire button for the throttle on at least on that game. Anyway, I say loads of the games had different sort of control methods, but yeah, so accelerate was the fire button to get it to actually go. But yeah, blimey, that was not good for the shoulders, I have to admit. And so, but this was, of course, our control of choice back in the 80s, which of course was the quick shot, which I said about in the last episode. Yes, our joystick of choice, which you could use on multiple consoles, because I used to use this for the Spectrum as well. And then, of course, I transplanted it to the Commodore Amiga A600. But now we move on to the main event. Yes, the main reason actually why I got the Commodore Amiga A600, because on the box art for this computer was a certain game which went on to be absolutely massive, and that game is Jeff Cramond's Grand Prix. And here it is, everyone, and unfortunately we've got to put another disc in the drive, and I've got it sitting on the floor here, my Amiga, so hang on a minute, I'll just put the disc in. Hold the phone. Okay, here we go. Oh no, I don't believe it. No. Oh, I've completely forgotten about this. Yes, there was a security on this game. You had to put in, oh my God, have I still got the manual? Bloody, hang on a minute. Hold the phone. I'm going to see if I can find the manual. My God. Jesus. Oh, oh, oh. Well, if it's anywhere, it's up here. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, oh. Hold the phone, everyone. I just found it. Look, the manual to Grand Prix for the... Wow. Right, so I've got to go to page 83. Yep. Paragraph 1. Yep. Line 3. 1, 2. Yep. Word 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the word I've got to put in is bend. Let's hope this works. Let's hope this works. Come on. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? We'll find out. Yes, we're in. We're in. Now, of course, this game was so comprehensive. It was ridiculous. We're only going to go for a quick race because actually getting into the game takes forever. And it looks like we've only got Silverstone, unfortunately, because as you can see there, there's no previous or next, so we can't advance. So, but that's okay. We will go to Silverstone, a great track for demonstrating this game. So, entering cockpit. Yeah, stop sniggering now. Stop sniggering. Make your own. Here it is. Here it is, everyone. Oh my God. Goodness God. This is F1 World, what's it called? Just Grand Prix by the genius, of course, Mr. Jeff Crammon. Racing. We are going to be racing on the Amiga A600. I've got my joystick ready. Have I got to press fire? Fire? No, I've got to go forwards. Oh, here we go. This is even more complicated. You have to keep holding forwards to go. So here we go then. It's only a quick race. Now, as you can see, in the left-hand corner, you've got like a difficulty scale. And as you can see, it's in the green, which is right at the bottom, which means we're on the easy difficulty just for a quick race. But so I think that most of the assists are actually on. Yes, there was assists in this game. You could have the traction turned off. You could have like manual, automatic gearboxes, and they're all represented, as you can see in the cockpit view, right in the middle there. You can see all those ones that are red. That means they're automatically switched on, I do believe. So yes, oh my God, but I spent so many hours playing this game. Yes, it was the first game to offer sort of proper 3D graphics. Well, it was a very early version of 3D graphics, but yes, it was pretty much proper 3D graphics. And oh my God, did I spend... I'll tell you what, I'm doing pretty decent at this. I do believe, though, I think automatic brakes are on as well, which is what on the easy level, because it seemed to be braking very easily. Yes, but I used to have all the assists turned off for this game, and it was rock hard. I think damage was implemented as well, so make the slightest bit of contact with the car in front and your wing would be damaged, and to come into the pits and get your wing replaced, which sometimes took 30 to 40 seconds on this game, which is very sort of accurate for the time, in fact. But oh my God, this just brings back so many memories. I cannot explain to you how many hours I spent playing this game. Oh, are we going through Maggots and Beckets? Oh, it's a car off, and there's a marshal. Look, a marshal waving. We never saw that in an F1 game before. A marshal waving to say a car was off the circuit. Wowzers. Yeah, I think we've just gone through Maggots and Beckets. I'm not quite sure. But it is a sort of rather more faithful representation of the circuits, as you can see, as we're now coming round. I think this is the old bit of the circuit, but of course I think this is based on the 1992 season, I do believe, as well. Now, as you can see, fastest lap goes to Carlos Sanchez. Now, unfortunately, the officially licensed drivers couldn't be included in the game, but the colours of the cars are very accurate to what they were in real life, and also you could change all the names of the drivers to represent the current season. I used to do that, I think, all the way up until the PlayStation era, a lot like you could do with F1 97 on the PlayStation. And we're up behind one of the Williams. Is that Nigel Mansell? Is that Nigel? I'm not quite sure, but look at this. Let's see if we can get past the Williams here. Pile on the beans. Here we go. Yes. Down we go, and we've got past, have we? Yes, we have. We've got brake marker boards as well. That was very important in this game because you had brakes that were very, very tough to get used to. Very, very tough indeed. But here we've done it. But I say we're on the very easy level. So yes, we're in currently in third position now and chasing more cars ahead. Oh my God! Yeah, I cannot convey how many hours and hours I put into this game. And one of the other good things about it was if you actually started to get a little bit tired of playing, because unfortunately there was no way of saving the game, and I used to do full lap Grand Prix on this game, there was no way of saving it. But if you start to get a little bit tired, oh no, I binned it, I don't believe it, I've binned it, oh my god, I've been sent to Narnia. Where are we going now? I'm not quite sure. Let's see if we can get back on. Yeah, we're getting back on very easy. When all the assists are off, it takes literally 30 seconds to get your car back. Oh no, we've been hit up the Jack Jones, I think. I think we've been hit up the Jack Jones by another car. And now I don't know where we are now. We're in the boondocks. We've headed off somewhere. Let's see if we can get back on the circuit. And yes, we can. So, Kurt Langer has got the fastest lap. But anyway, as I say, I used to actually put in all the seasons, I think from 92, 93, 94, pretty much up until the PlayStation era. I was still playing this game, yes, and it was just absolutely brilliant. I think that's a Minardi or something we're getting past now. Yes, so we've lost some positions after that spin, but we've made it up now to 6th place, which means we are 1 for 1. And look at this, there's a car going to the pits. Look, a car off to the right has gone into the pits. Now you may be asking yourself, what have you done to this video, Dave? Why is it all jerky? Trust me, everyone, that's not jerky. That is how good the game was playing on the Amiga, because unfortunately this is pushing the machine to its limits, its absolute limits. The frame rate is very jerky. I think that's going at about 15 frames a second, something like that. But it was still playable. It was still playable back in the day. And we're going back to, I think, this is 89, 90, 90, something like that anyway. It may even be 92. I'm not quite sure when this actually came out. But yes, it's still playable. It really is playable. So yes, and I just loved every, because this was finally the F1 game I've been waiting for years and years and years. All the others were good and they were fun and that, but this actually felt like a proper F1 game. And I used to watch the races on the TV and then I'd be straight onto this. I was just an absolute F1 fanatic. Well, I still am a little bit, but I have calmed down quite a bit over the years. But back in the day, absolute F1 nut job. And here we go, we're chasing another car. Are we going to get past? Yes, we do. Down the inside, up into 4th position now. Wowzers, me trousers. 4th place. This is, how many laps is it? It's only 3 laps. Oh no, we binned it again. Oh no, we've got off. Come on, get back on. And the race has been won by Kurt Langer. So there you go. Well done to Kurt. But of course, we could have changed his name, and that could possibly be Nigel Mansell if we put the name in, or whoever he wanted to put in. Yes. Oh my god. So there we go then. Race has been won. We're just coming around the final corner. Now, I think as soon as the race is won, we actually lose control of the car. And it actually goes to the computer. Now, what I was saying earlier was that, there we go, we've crossed the line. And what I was saying earlier is, if you actually got tired playing this game, you could actually switch it over and the computer would carry on driving for you. So you could go back and have some lunch or have a bit of dinner for half an hour, come back, and then you could take back control of the game and carry on playing it, and it would have gone through the last half an hour of the game, which is absolutely great for the time. Never seen that before in any F1 game, that you could actually leave control to the computer. I have to say though, the computer seemed to make a lot more mistakes on its own without me actually driving it, and I used to come back and I'd usually end up last on the grid or something like that. Yeah, it was pretty horrendous. Anyway, I've spun it again. I think we've lost control anyway, and I think it's being controlled by the computer. Now look at this before we finish. This was the manual. This was the days of proper manuals. Look at how many, get onto the camera, look how many pages. There is everything that you could ever want included in this manual. Everything. There's braking zones for the circuits, information about who won them in previous Grand Prix. It's just all there. Absolutely brilliant stuff. It really is. And we seem to be stuck on the side of the road. Yes. But there you go. Oh my God. That's just great to see. You just don't get that these days. Proper manuals. Especially if you just download it off the PlayStation Store, you get nothing. But even physical games now, the manual it's like a tiny piece of paper and that's it. But back in the day, proper manuals, mate. Proper, which you needed actually to put the security code in. But yeah, proper manuals. Great to see. Has the race finished yet? Yeah. Now, one of the other things was if you did a full race Grand Prix, sometime, oh, there you go, the race is over. The other thing was, if you did a full race Grand Prix and the Grand Prix was over, sometimes you had to wait 10 minutes before the actual race was completed, because of course back in the day there, some of those back marker cars were basically about 10 minutes behind the front runners, yeah, at times, because they were that slow. They were that slow, especially the very, very back marker cars. As everyone knows, back in like the 90s, we had pre-qualifying and stuff like that, and so many teams just trying to get into a race. It was ridiculous, and some of those teams really shouldn't have been in Formula One, and I say some of them ended up like 10 minutes behind the race leader who crossed the line. And it's replicated in this game because you just had to sit and wait until all the cars crossed the line before it was the end of the game. And so yeah, a fantastic memory for me there of F1 Grand Prix by Jeff Crammond. His name really wasn't that big on the cover of this, as you can see, but on to later games that he did on other consoles, his name, it was in fact, his name became across the top. It was called Jeff Crammond's Grand Prix, whereas in here it's Grand Prix with Jeff Crammond underneath, because his name was definitely one that couldn't be beaten in the world of Formula One, and so his name was rightly put above the future Grand Prix titles. But in this one, it's underneath, because this was a sort of his first sort of, I think it was his first F1 game. I'm not quite sure. He may have done another one, but as it says Grand Prix, I'm just sort of betting that this was his first game, and so, you know, understatedness being underneath. But as the games went on, it was called Jeff Crammond's Grand Prix, 2, 3, 4, and I don't know if they did any more after that. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, one of the great things about the Commodore Amiga was that it used standard floppy disks. Now, the Sinclair Spectrum, unfortunately, had a 3-inch disk drive, which is about 2/3 of the size of these discs, but unfortunately you could only buy those discs for the Spectrum, and so it was a bit of a disadvantage. Whereas this, the floppy drive, was an industry standard and was used all the way across multiple computers, and so it was a far better approach. And these were just brilliant. I remember I bought a game, it was an adventure game with dinosaurs on it, and because it was on a floppy disk, I mistakenly said to myself, oh my god, it's never going to wear out. I can just play this game for the next 30 years. Yeah, of course, unfortunately, that isn't what happened. And yeah, so everything wears out eventually. But yeah, that's my thinking. I thought this was like your modern day solid state drive. Yeah, it's never going to. Of course they wear out. These floppies wear out. It's basically just a disc inside a case. Yeah, it's just a disc inside a case, basically. And as that goes into the PC, that slides down and it starts reading the data off the disc, which is actually inside. You can see the little spindle there, and the disc runs around the outside. So it's very much like a very early CD DVD, only it's contained within a case. Now, if anyone remembers that we had DVD RAM at one point, and they were actually DVDs inside a plastic case as well, which used to go into special DVD RAM machines, if anyone remembers those. So very similar, and yeah, as I say, a very early sort of CD DVD inside a case. Yes, inside a case. But of course these wear out. I mean, Nigel's still going strong after so many years. I can't. Let's have a look and see if there's a year on it. No, it just says Gremlin Interactive. But it was around about the 90s anyway, something like that. So there you go. That's part 2 of my F1 journey. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Join me for the final part 3, where we go through the early 90s of video games. And once again, we switch up the gaming systems. Thanks, everyone, and good night.